Alright, today I'm going to do a Mead Schaeffer painting. So I don't have a canvas that is toned. So what I'm going to do is just use what I have. And I'm going to tone as I go, which is sometimes what I do. If you can, I would, it's almost like a note to myself. Take and tone a bunch of panels. Have them ready for you at all times. But if not, again, great experience to try to see what happens when you are kind of unprepared, like I am today. And it happens. And the point is to get in the studio and still do something. Even if it's a mess, I'm sure you can learn something. Alright, just going to cover this burr number. Again, I like burr number a lot. Switching over to using a little bit more raw umber, and I have it on the palette, so I'll call it out as I use it. Alright, and of course, in case you don't know, burnt umber is raw umber, just thrown into a kiln and burnt. It's kind of cool. It's like one of those course moments when I realized it. I think it was Robert Gamblin that was telling me. Alright, it's a good way to just even warm up the hand. Alright, I think I'm going to put a little bit, there's definitely like a green tint to it as you kind of study the image. It's such a beautiful image. I'm going to just take, as I kind of warm up my eye, and just, not gonna go too detailed here. I'm gonna just see if I can get the gist of the drawing. Again, it's just a great way to kind of warm up. Just looking. Maybe that's a little bit too big. I'm gonna opportunity to make it a little smaller. So, my career, the early part of it so far, was this very indirect method. And I was doing the direct method as well. This is more of a direct method. I find this is a great place to kind of play and try that direct method out. Look at that, and it's just gonna again get it's too big. That's why it's just a great thing to kind of wash it like this, so that you can make it smaller if needed. Keep wanting to get it bigger. I think that's just a natural function. And let's just wash this as a dark. Scrub it. I think back in the day that artists mostly used bristles. Now there's a lot of like synthetics for many reasons. Pop into that little. But I'm gonna just see what the color is. I've always wondered what the color is of this. Looks like a red-green kind of color scheme, but I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta get in there, recreate it, see what your thoughts are on it. And then in that, it could change the way that you think about color mixing by kind of taking it, as I would say, for a test drive. Alright, that's kind of such a wonderful silhouette too, what's happening here. And it has a lot to do, of course, the color and the mood with the movie, if you've ever seen it. See, he's a very angry character. And Schaeffer does so good. This Mead Schaeffer job at just, in my opinion, portraying the character through the color of like what's going on. All right, I'm gonna take my alizarin permanent and just set it up there. What I always found fascinating is that the looseness, the brushwork that I'm gonna put in here is really the way in which these bravura painters were working much faster. I don't think they were super slow and articulate. I think they were a bit more speedy, and it's something to take away. You know, you can't, there's only, if you do slow painting, there's only certain things that you can get. You can't really get this kind of brushwork in it, and that's just something, you know, or I guess from my findings I would say that. But if you're trying to get a little of this in it, you may want to try it, even just try to copy it. Alright, let's see if I'm going to add a black to the palette. Ivory black right there from Gamblin. Raw umber almost seems like the right choice. So let me take a little raw umber, bring it over here, take a little of this is lead white, bring it in there. Not all raw umbers are this gray either. Well, that's one of the things I really love about this raw umber, is that it has the like almost like neutral. I've drawn this a bunch of times too in my sketchbook. Just absolutely love it. Just average that down. Get the black in there. There's definitely some kind of a green feel. Let's see if I can find it. I get too caught up in details. Yeah, so let's grab cobalt green. Cad yellow medium. It just seems right under the neck there. Again, I'm not getting carried away with caring all that much with it having to be perfect and look exactly like it. It's more, you know, the essence of it. If you ever get caught up, I mean, if you're doing these and really trying to study the picture instead of, you know, make perfect little paintings, I just recommend grab mineral spirits and wash it. You know, just go for the picture. Don't go so much for the making it perfect. I think the perfection, I don't know. You don't have to do a faithful copy is all I'm saying. But up to you, of course, however you want to do anything. I think we assign our own meaning to so much. Alright, let's get back up here. Bring this down. There's a lot going on down here. I don't have to get all that. sets a lot up. Again, this is flake white right there. Just caked on. Sometimes referred to as silver white. And it even looks silver. So funny. Especially compared to the titanium right next to it. Look, there's a value shift in there too. Yeah, it's going to be more up here. The face, I think, could just get a tiny bit darker. Again, I'm going for average here. I'm not going for eye sockets and all that jazz. But there's a value that I'm missing here, just to bring it more to a like that. I think that means that this can all get a touch darker. Back in here, we put a little more raw umber out. The raw umber is a nice kind of yellow, low chroma yellow green. So here's what I'm saying. Looks like there's like a mouth drawn on there, and it's unintentional. I just grab the mineral spirit sometimes, hit that back up, just destroy it. If you find yourself getting too much into details, and just get back down into the essence of it. It's really just the shape of that. It doesn't have to be anything more. It's a study of the picture. I mean, that to me, that's what these are about. Burn umber, bring it over, raw umber. It definitely feels like it's somewhere in the raw umber family, the color. I think I always wondered too, and recently, you think about things long enough and you'll solve them at different times. I think recently I started work with this color and I was like, I think that's the color. Raw umber. It was by Vasari. Just such a wonderful color. I'm probably going to add it to the palette. Go. And then look at those two. This value is lighter. There, so got to be careful. Look at the pop of that red too. The way he just really pops it. Just high intensity. Never seen this painting. I always wanted to. They used to have the poster at the Dahesh Museum in New York City, and that's the first time I saw it. It was a show called Stories to Tell. It was a Kelly collection. So when I was writing the Oil Painter's Color Handbook, this was one of those ones I was like, yeah, that's gonna make it in. I wanted it on the cover. Just thought, I don't know, the psychology of color is like it's pretty angry. Red could be a good one for advertising, for sure, but I just didn't know if it was correct. It made it. It almost didn't even make it in. Well, it did. It made it in the psychology chapter on color, but it was supposed to go at the front of it, but we ended up putting the Leighton, Frederick Lord Leighton, at the front, which still great choice. All right, as you get a little bit more, you realize that's too chromatic, maybe. Look at the brushwork. You start to really study what he's doing. Green right in there. Shape. Give it the sense that there's volume there. And this is like a pendant. And that beautiful hand gesture there. There we go. This could all be black. Although I usually try to get a little bit more variety in my work. And it can even, maybe I want to extend that. I feel like I'm trying to scrunch it in, put the feet in, and that's just not right. Like this just gonna, I just don't have enough room. Instead of like forcing it, I'll just push it down. You don't want like dinky little feet. Yeah. That's a big problem too, that, you know, not saving enough room. Kind of shoot yourself in the foot sometimes. It doesn't have to be super descriptive. I think when I met Walt Reed, I think he said he had this. He owned the painting. And, you know, gosh, I wish I could own it, study it, look at it every day. Push that over. Look at that, just it's almost like the shape of the hand. So it makes that right there, just that little cup, right? Fascinating. Or black. Another one of those. Don't use black. I was told that. Unless you forget. And then you use black. But obviously there's reasons for it. And then you find that Sergeant used black, and 10 other people use black. Whistler used black. Cecilia Boo used black. And then you're like, what? I thought I was told never to use it. And it has its place of why. Not always, like break that. See what you feel. I would say. All right, a little bit more from there. And then let's get a little orange. There's titanium. All right, let's get more of the red in there. And that's kind of the gist of it. Take it as far as you want to. I like to go with a little ivory black. I want to go darker. Scrub it. Try things out here. Again, it's like your playground. So you don't always have the luxury in a picture to really take it and play, especially if you're under like a deadline or something, if you're painting for a show. Maybe you do, maybe you bake that in. I mean, I try to, but it's not always that you can. Do it here. Push back up. All right, bring that. Look at the values just kind of disappear there. Especially sometimes the beauty of the poetry of this. Soften that edge. Yeah, maybe I'll take the tape off and just go all the way down. All right, let's do it. Let's do this too. Let's just bring it. The sideburns. That whole side just almost looks like it just goes, looks like right to black. Over here, mystery. And then a little bit more red picks up. Over here, maybe a little alizarin permanent. painting. Maybe I just drop that a little more. Yeah, it feels better. Yeah, feels like the coat even could get longer, so I'm gonna just leave it like that. And then just call it a day. You know, it is what it is. Still a nice composition. I think it's, obviously not completely true to it, but it is what it is. And I did a little research today. I think that's good. Touch. All right, one last thing, and I think a couple moments of bringing it together, and then